take this serious or not.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. We're just gonna have to see how the game pans out. And because like Horribady is just gonna play very offensive here. Actually, almost now. I actually thought he would just rush right in. That would be a bit of a ballsy move, but seems like he's going to be protection for this matchup, and that might be a good idea because you're gonna have a hunter shooting at you. So he's gonna have those constant reckoning procs pretty much, and that's gonna increase his DPS by so much.
Yeah, I agree. I think that prod is extremely strong. You know, the DPS is very high, probably even higher than ret, and you're so much more defensive. You can take so much more damage. I feel like prod is extremely strong, and you know, maybe a bit underused so far in this tournament. But Horribady will be going in there. He's going to try to get some damage out immediately on this Warlock, and he can be cleaving those pets as well. Billy's here is kind of out in the middle, going to be taking some damage from the Hunter and the Warlock, though.
Yeah, there's a full clone going out to Horribady, so seems like NetherX is going to try to control the Paladin as much as he can, just knowing that he can do so much damage if he's able to free roam.
Yeah, Big Shadow here going to come out, hit both Horribady and Explosivo. It's going to be followed up by that Howl of Terror. Tremor Totem was able to be dropped, though. Horribady going to go into the coil, taking a lot of damage here, actually, down to 40% HP. Explosivo needs to get some heals up on him. Earthshield is not on him as far as I can tell just yet. You know, one thing also that's nice about prod is you don't really have the mana problems as long as you can hit someone every 15 seconds, please up permanently. And we've seen Horribady has actually had, you know, numerous mana problems as ret.
Yeah, especially as red as you said, and as protection you have that constant plea unless you get CC'd on it. So unless he actually forgets to pop his plea, I think his mana should be fine as long as he actually hits stuff, because he refreshes every time you hit something.
Yep. Alright, so we are going to just see this this prop pally. He's going on the crab pet. He's going to swap over to the Felender. I think it will go down here. Yeah, the first pet does fall for Miriam. Miriam going to just go back behind the pillar and start resummoning, though. I'm surprised that Horribady wasn't chasing him, but Lust will be popped. I imagine Wings is going to be sure to follow. They are just going to go over onto NetherX. Looks like NetherX is going to go into a Fury. He's taking quite a bit of damage here, and I would like to see Wings used with this Lust, but Horribady not just using it just yet. And there's the Wings now as he does pop that Hodge onto NetherX, and NetherX down about half HP, taking a lot of damage. He is going to be able to Healthstone and get that Swiftman, though, and that should be able to top him off, as Billy is here is having to retreat down about 60% HP. They need to make use of this Wings, though, and he is going to try to go and get another pet kill, perhaps.
Yeah, just as we've seen, NetherX been doing a pretty good job before, it's just keeping those pre-outs up, basically preventing a lot of the damage before it's even happening, and I think that's a very good thing to do. And he's actually using a lot of his mana, though, already having used his Innovate, and he's actually running a Spirit Staff all the time. He's able to throw out as many hosts as possible without losing too much mana.
Yeah, I think that's definitely a smart decision. You know, you want to try to just make sure you win on mana against a team like this, as long as they're keeping them defensive as they are so far, and they've lived through the Lust, so they just have to be careful. Billy is here, though, taking a lot of damage. There's a full clone on a Horribady. He's going to decide to sit that. He has to make sure his plea does not fall, though, because that could actually be huge if it does, and it looks like he will have time to get it refreshed. He does right there. Horribady taking some damage, though, going to go into the Fear. Looks like he's going to try to be bursted here by Miriam. Earthshield was swapped over onto him, but the damage is just going right back over to Billy's here. He is rooted by that crab into a death coil, actually going to trigger that and pour out of there, as he was taking some damage. But you know, I really need to see some more dots coming out here from Billy's here. He really hasn't been able to get much damage rolling so far, and NetherX is really just having an easy time healing through this damage.
Yeah, I mean, they actually don't have too many interrupts. I mean, they have their spell lock, but apart from that, I think Billy's here should be able to get a lot of dots up. I don't think Gleen can use all his crowd control on Billy's here either, because they're just not going to be able to get kills then.
Yeah, I agree. And Horribady taking a lot of damage here, down about 30% HP, 40% HP now. He's just being pressured very, very hard. Explosivo going to be able to land some of those healing waves onto him. We can see NetherX is losing some mana here, and a while left on his Innervate. So, I mean, things are kind of evening out, and I'm pretty impressed by Explosivo. He's doing a great job saving that mana. AoE sack is going to come out here from this protection Paladin, as Billy's here is taking quite a bit of damage. Miriam going to be Hodge. Looks like he wants to do the damage to that Warlock right now. NetherX is about 60% HP right now as well, but no dots are up just yet from Billy's here.
Yeah, Horribady doing a good job of hammering that Fear that was going to stick onto Explosivo, but they do have so many dispels today. I feel like they can keep their the healers out of essentially any CC at all. Billy's here having to use his Battle Monster and a Hellstone now, so there's so much damage going on to Billy's here. Miriam actually dropping down to 60% as well, but NetherX having full hots on him, and there's no Water Strike from the Red Paladin team. I don't think it's going to be in too much trouble, because NetherX is keeping such a defensive position, just peeking in and out, throwing those hots. And Horribady down to 25% health now. He does have his Earthshield up, but I don't know if it's going to be enough force to bubble through all that damage.
Yeah, Explosivo was scattered there, got CS at the same time. Bilious here had to use his Feldom right after that as well. His pet did fall. And Horribady coming out of that bubble, still not top just yet, and things are looking a little bit rough. I mean, the Innervite's about to be back up here for Netherrex, so he's going to basically go back to full mana. Nice clone landed there on Bilious here before he can get that Howl of Terror off onto him. A Hodge is going to be popped there onto Netherrex, I do believe, but it did get devoured. And Horribady sitting at about half HP, you know, is taking quite a bit of damage here.
Yeah, Explosive is dropping to down to 2,700 mana, so Explosive's mana is not going to last for much longer into a full scatter shot, but I don't think traps doesn't actually really matter, and Bilious into a full coil is going to take so much damage. Horribady doing the best he can to peel with that bop, but he does actually take the Mortal Strike when Explosive managed to land that Endless Healing Wave, which is going to top off Billy, so really good bop coming out from Horribady there.
Yeah, and there was actually a clone on the pet during that from Netherrex, so nice play. Going to be able to do a lot more damage, and the Hunter just killed that pet instantly, and Bilious here does not have a Feldom available, so he's not going to be able to get a Fell Hunter out as he is cloned off that fear, but Horribady at 30% HP, so I'm not sure if it's even going to come into play. A port is used by Bilious here. I do believe Horribady down to 15% HP, just hovering so low. Explosive really struggling, trying to keep him topped up. He gets fully locked, and I think this may spell the end here for Horribady, who is down about 5% HP. There's the Argent Defender popping right now, but is not going to be enough. 1% HP. Explosivo gets cloned, and the Paladin will fall.
Yeah, so much damage and so much pressure coming out to Horribady there, and as you said, that full spell onto Explosivo is definitely the reason why Horribady went down, and
that one.
It's so hard.
But Bilious here, good damage on that crab pet. He's going to pull back and try to maybe dot up this Fell Hunter. He has to be careful though. The Hunter is going hard on his pet once again. There's the last pop, so we need to see a lot of dots coming out here from Bilious here. Just spread that damage around on everyone. And he is doing a good job of that so far. Dots up the pet, now trying to dot up the Hunter. Everyone is in the middle, so he does fake that CS, and I think he should be able to get a ton of damage out here. He is going to be able to get free casting for pretty much the entire duration of the Lust.
Yeah, and Miriam is forced to health funnel his pet to keep her alive, and Horribady is just gonna swap onto whatever's close to him right now, and I think that's exactly what he's supposed to. But as you said, Billy needs so much more dots. His dots on one target right now. There needs to be tad dotting all the time from this Warlock.
Yeah, and he is going to get the fear onto Gleen there, who will be stuck in it full. Gleen is going to get dotted up, and I think he's just focusing on the pets for now, which is okay, but you know, he has to just be aggressive. That's really what it's going to be about, just getting that team on the defensive, because they do a ton of damage to him, and he has to be careful. But you know, if you can force this Hunter, force this Warlock defensive, then you're really going to start to take the advantage as they do have to retreat. You know, it's going to open up opportunities for your Shaman to drink, etc. Bilious here does get Shadow Fury there. They're trying to burst his pet down once again. Bilious here is MCS trying to stop that health funnel, but health funnel does indeed come in now, and I think he should be able to keep his pet alive as Earthshield does land on it as well. A nice Cyclone though from Netherrex onto Bilious here, denying that health funnel.
Yeah, and as you said, it seems like he's just trying to tunnel those pets as much as possible. But Billy's second pet's almost about to go down, getting Shadow Fury on his health funnel there. So we might see a pet killer down to 700 health. The pet's most likely going to go down. There's the health funnel, getting Spelled on that health funnel. I don't know how this pet's still living. 400 health, and it does actually go down to a dot tick right there. So that's the last pet from Billy, and it's going to try to actually grounds the coil right there. And that's could be pretty big, but Billy doesn't have a pet for ages now, so they're going to need to find a way to get that pet up, or they're just gonna lose eventually. Explosive's mana is so low.
Netherrex does get feared there, so maybe they can get something going here on Miriam. We'll have to see. Full dots were put up on the Netherrex, so he's going to be pressured pretty nicely by Bilious here. The Howl of Terror going to be thrown out. Another fear landing there onto Miriam. And Bilious here is doing what he can, trying to stay defensive, trying to get some dots out while not having that pet. He has to wait about 40 seconds. A nice CS fake there by Bilious here, and he's doing a good job getting some of those dots up now. Doing a much better job than the last game, I do think. Explosivo looks like he's going to go into a trap. No, he's possibly able to ground that. He's going for the resummon as he did port away. Gets silencing shot on it, unfortunately. And now the Warlock has arrived, so I don't think he's going to be able to get that. There's the Shadow Fury plus the fear. Tremor Totem was killed, so Bilious here could be in a lot of trouble. But they're actually just going to go on Explosivo instead, who is pushed out into the middle. Only 20 seconds remaining, though, on the Feldom cooldown for Bilious here.
Yeah, Billy's trying to do his best of peeling by banishing the pledge, just trying to spam those fears, but Explosive down to about 10% health, having to end himself back up to 50%, still under so much pressure. It doesn't seem like he can actually get away, and there's a fear onto Horribady, and that's gonna stick. It doesn't get tremored, so Explosive is under too much pressure to live, I think. They just keep tunneling into him. Even the Brats are coming out from this Druid, and that's so much damage. There's a Bob coming out, and it doesn't get cloned, so he's gonna be able to get around by losing that Mortal Strike and just top himself off. But we have to take a look at Explosive's mana here, down to 2,000 mana. I mean, His mana's not gonna
Yeah.
last for much longer.
He is drinking though, so if they can stay alive, they could try to recover here. But Villius here needs support instantly. He needs to get out of there. He did get another pet, so that's something that's key. He can throw out some fears. He's going to get a fear onto Gleen there. Does not look like it'll be able to be devoured. Villius here though is quite low. Horribady is taking some damage as well. Explosivo was able to drink a decent amount of mana, and Miriam's at about half HP right now. We can see a ton of mana left though on Netherrax, and Billy is here forced into Demon Armor as he's taking a lot of damage here from Gleen, but he is getting the dots rolling. He's doing a pretty good job. He just has to be careful about his pet. I really would like to just see him have it on stay behind the pillar, and I think that's exactly what he's going to do, which is a really good decision.
Yeah, he definitely has to keep that pet alive now. He doesn't have Feldon for such a long time, and I think one of the big issues here is Netherrax's mana is still so fine compared to Explosive, but he did actually get a couple of thousand mana when he was drinking there, so that could be really big for him. Having to Earth Shield himself right away, getting bashed by the Druid there, I think, dropping pretty low, but he's probably going to be able to keep himself alive behind the pillar.
Yeah, he will, but they're just so far behind, and actually taking so much damage right now, and he is going to get bursted down, and that is going to be that. Horribady, Billy is here, and Explosivo going to fall in this series, playing a much better game too.